Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the video. Here today we are going to go over how to use this new loader. Now this is actually the update to the GISC loader or the GISC loader. Um, we've made so many revisions here, and so we just even decided to go with a whole new name because that seemed a little bit too technical, and this is all about having fun, and yeah, we wanted to make it something that had a lot of everything, and it just made it easy and streamlined for people to use. So yeah, we decided to go ahead and drop the technical stuff because you don't need to worry about that. All you need to do is worry about is just going ahead, selecting what you want to do, and getting right into the action. So anyway, thanks for all of you who have subscribed. I can't believe we hit 100 subscribers, and we did it really relatively quick. So thanks again. And for those of you who have already been using this tool, the GISC loader, you may want to watch the whole entire video because we're going to talk about things that are here that were not on the old one, and yeah, and things are different. Things have changed a bit. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's get started. Go ahead and install your package and then run it. And you'll see that even though the images are the same, they're a little bit more colorful, the icon here as well as the background. And yeah, we came up with the name because I was thinking, I want this to be like the ultimate tool that people use for Black Ops 2, and from Ultimate came Ultra, and then KMZ is my handle, so that's how we got to the name. But there's not going to be another name change. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright, so as you can see here, the menu is a little bit different. Now the image is the same, but the options are definitely different. And take a look at this. Look at what is number 3 and 4 e-boots for non-host sprx and sprx non-host menus. That's of course beta. We're going to talk about both of these things and how to use them in a little bit. And then, yeah, we've streamlined just about everything else. Now, what you have to do as soon as you get this, the very first thing, regardless of what you want to do, you have to go to number 5, and it's the last one because it's the only one you need to use just one time. So you're basically going to go to number 5. It's going to install the GSC injectors that has the menus and everything built in. So you're going to go to number 5. It's going to install, and that's it. You really never have to go to number 5 ever again. That's why we put it at the end. After you go to number 5, whenever you want to play zombies or multiplayer, you're just going to come to number 1 and you're going to pick the one you want to play. So before and before we get to that, you notice here it says play multiplayer menus KEX, play zombie menus KEX. For those of you that are on DEX, yours will actually say DEX instead of KEX. This program can detect whether you're on KEX or DEX, and it will present you with what's available for the type of system that you're on. So right now it's showing KEX because my system is KEX, but if you are on DEX, it would be showing DEX right here. It would say play multiplayer menus DEX, play zombie menus DEX. So you're going to go ahead and pick the one that you want. Okay, so we did it that way. The other options don't show. That way you accidentally don't install DEX stuff on your KEX machine or install KEX stuff on your DEX machine. So only what's available depending on the type of system you have, that's what's going to show. So in this case, KEX is showing. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's pick multiplayer. Remember, you got to do number 5 first, and you just need to do it one time only. Now the difference here is that when you pick multiplayer before, KEX people would be taken to the zombie screen and you had to go over to the multiplayer screen to play multiplayer. Now for KEX, DEX, it doesn't matter. Whatever you choose, you will be taken to that screen and your menus will open up right there. The good news is for KEX people, when you wanted to play zombies, you had to go, you would start off at the zombie screen, but you had to go to multiplayer. Then you had to, launch the GSC injector, and then you had to get out of the GSC injector and go back to zombies. We've eliminated all of that. So When you pick zombies, you go to the zombie screen. You pick multiplayer, you go to the multiplayer screen, and you launch the menu. So we pick multiplayer in this case. Let's go ahead and exit. Now, remember the steps that you need to clear your history and your CFW Syscalls files, sign into PSN, and then launch the game. If you do it out of that order, not only do you run a higher risk of getting banned, but on top of that, the menus will not work. So we've already picked what we wanted to play, and anything that you pick in this loader, it will be remembered. You don't have to come tomorrow and do it. So if today we pick multiplayer, and we come back a week from now and we want to play multiplayer again, we don't even have to go in here. It's going to remember what we chose last. And you just load up the game and go, and you'll be automatically taken to multiplayer. So it remembers what you did last. So anyway, I am on Cobra and Webman activated, so I'm going to load the game that way. If you have a game manager, make sure that you launch the game from the disk icon and not the folder. Some game managers do not put a disk icon here. What they do is they put your game right here in this folder, which Webman does also. But you really need to launch your game from the disk icon. If you do it from a folder, it's going to look like, well, you're launching the game and you're going online through using a folder through a method that only exists on a jailbroken PS3. So you're going to wipe out your history and stuff only to go online and launching your game through this folder that's not supposed to be on a legit PS3, so it defeats the purpose. So always launch it from here. You can put any working PS3 game into the disk drive, and the disk icon will appear. Okay, but for us Cobra Webman people, it puts it there for you automatically, so it works great. Now at this point, you need to clear out your history and your CFW Syscalls files. You could do that either with Send Enabler or PSN Patch. PSN Patch is really the easiest way. You can just press X, and then once you go into the screen or into the menu, press, I believe it's triangle. It says delete or disable CFW Syscalls. When you select that and you press triangle, it also does your history as well. So now that you have the game loaded, you have to wipe out your history and your CFW Syscalls files. Those of us on Cobra and Webman, we have a little cheat. And this is actually the best way to do this. Your history and your CFW files will be cleared better this way than any other way. That's why you should use Cobra and Webman all the time. You're going to hold down R2 and triangle button at the same time and just keep holding them down. Eventually, you'll hear the beep and you'll see that the history and the CFW files were deleted or wiped or whatnot, and then you're going to go ahead and sign in. Okay, so here we are, and as you can see, we are taken directly to the multiplayer screen. For you guys on Kex, this wasn't happening before. It was the zombies, and now not the case. We fixed it, and you get brought right back here, or right to where you're supposed to be. Always wait for that little store word to pop up, the store option down at the bottom. It should show up when you're online. When you're offline, it never will, so you don't have to worry about it. Always, no matter what, you're going to go into local, whether you're going to play online or offline. You're going to wait about 20 seconds here at the screen, and you're going to start pressing L2 and down at the same time, L2 and down on the D-pad, to open up the GSC injector. Okay, and now the menu has been opened. Now, when you're playing offline, you can pick any menu you want. The way you do it, you just hit no. Okay, and then it takes you to the next menu. You hit no, it takes you to the next, and so on and so on. Whenever you want a menu whenever you come to a menu you want to play, you're just going to hit yes. And then the second question that pops up is always going to be no, no matter what the situation is. That one will always be no. The second question. Now, if you want to play online, you have to do force host. Make sure you have a halfway decent internet connection before you do this. Okay, and so again, even if you want to play online, you have to come here and you have to do this. You have to come to local. All right, and then you're going to hit no. I'm sorry, you're going to hit yes here at Basam V6, the very first one. And here, this one is always going to be no. Start the match. Okay, so we're going to open up Basam. We're going to go to lobby here, which is the second one down. Press X, and then we're going to go down to force host, and we're going to press X. So you can see it says force host on in the left hand corner, and now we could just press start and end the game. And then you can go ahead and go to play online.
It's a draw.
And at that point, when you go to play online, you don't need to do this force hosting again. You can pick any menu you want. It doesn't have to be Basam. You can pick any menu you want. When you're done playing, you could just go back out into the lobby, open up the menu, the GSC injector again by pressing L2 and down, and see, here we are. And I'm going to press L2 and down, and look. And you can play with Basam or no. You can go to the next one. You can play with anyone you want. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and let's pick. Let's pick Jiggy. Again, this one's always going to be no. Go into public match, find one, or let's just do team deathmatch. I'm going to fast forward because you know this can take a while. I'm going to fast forward until we get started into a match. Okay guys, as you can see, it started and here we are. And you can see we're online. There's somebody right there. Let's go into the main mods. Let's do gun mode, infinite ammo. Yeah, so you can see we could do anything here. Let's go to speed. My speed is now ×2.
Sniper, get down!
See that? So yeah, it works.
That's a kill.
There we go. Alright, so we're gonna get out of this. I'm gonna go ahead and get out, and now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you something different. Let's go back to the XMB, but don't do anything. Let's quit out of this. And again, here when you come back here, just hit down and L2. You can open up the menu again, and you can pick any other menu you want. You don't have to do the force host trick again. Alright, so I'm going to get out of this and let's go to the XMB because I'm going to show you something a little bit different now. We're going to play zombies, but just follow my steps. Okay, so here we're back at the XMB screen. Now here's something that's interesting. We're already signed in. Okay, so what we can do is, if you like, you can just reboot the system. Alright, and that way you can clear your history again, your CFW systems again. But with Cobra, and actually I think it's with PSN patch or with Send Enabler, should be the same. Your CFW syscalls files have already been deleted. The good thing about this program is that you can actually launch it again without having to reboot the system. So as you can see, our game is still here. We're still signed in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in, and this time I'm going to pick the game, and we should be taken. Oh, and by the way, we're still getting these bogus little messages, these little glitches. Don't worry, we're going to try working on that. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to pick zombies, and then we're going to go ahead and just launch the game, and I'll meet you at the zombie screen, and we should be at the zombie screen if everything works out. Okay, and so here we are, and look, we're right at the zombies. Okay, and let's wait for that Facebook thing still pops up. At least for me, maybe it does for you guys too. It won't pop up if you are offline, so don't worry about it. But if you're online, just wait 10 seconds, it should pop up. If it doesn't pop up by the 10-second mark, then you should be okay. We can go ahead and proceed. Again, just like multiplayer, you're always going to go into local first, whether you're going to play online or not. Obviously, if you're not going to play online, it doesn't matter. Just go into local, do your thing. But if you're going to play online, you need to come to local. You need to do the same thing, L2 and down. And here we are, and take a look there. Now only the menus, the zombie menus pop up. Hell's Vengeance is the first one. No longer do we have to go back to the multiplayer and do all that stuff to then come back here. Nope, it's loaded. And if you noticed, I didn't even have to reboot my PS3. I just did it, and now we're here. So a lot quicker and easier for you guys. Now again, same thing. If you're going to play offline, you could just pick any menu you want here. Hit no to go to the next one, yes to pick the one you want, and then that second question is always going to be no, where it asks you if you want to open up the GSE injector again and whatnot. So if you want to play online, again, you always have to come to local, come here, hit yes for Hell's Vengeance. You're going to hit no, and now we're going to do the same thing we did with Bassam, but we're going to do with Hell's Vengeance. So we're going to start Hell's Vengeance here in local, and then we're going to do Force Host. Okay, so here we are. We opened up the menu, and we are going to scroll all the way down here to Host menu. We're going to press Square, and then we're going to go to the third one where it says Force Host and press Square again. It'll say Enabled there on the left-hand side. I always wait till it goes away just to make sure, and then hit Start. Go to End Game, hit Yes. And now we're going to be taken back out to the lobby. Let's go ahead. I'm going to fast forward through this, and let's go into the play online mode. Okay, so now we've selected play online. We're going to go ahead and hit L2 and down. And at this point, we've already activated the Force Host, so we can either pick Hell's Vengeance if we want, or we could go to the next one. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to pick I Am Zombie, right? And again, just like we're always going to pick no there. And again, just like in multiplayer, once you do Force Host once, you don't have to do it again until you leave the zombie area completely. So let's go into public match. I'm going to fast forward through all this, and when the match starts, we'll go ahead and start up again. Okay, so here we are, and let's open up the menu, and there we go. Okay, so first let me get God mode here, unlimited ammo going.
Whew. I almost shuffled off this mortal coil.
Alright, so there we go. Now we can do all kinds of stuff here. Let's go into bullet mods. No, let's not go into bullet mods. Let's go into weapon menu. Primary weapon. Let's do this. So you can see my bullets are not running out. So yeah. Alright, so here we are back at the lobby here, and again, you can pick any menu you want. Once you're here, you can just go to the next one and whatnot. You don't have to do that Force Host thing over and over again. Okay, so anyway, that's it. Now you can go straight to multiplayer, straight to zombies. You can load up the ones for each without jumping through all these hoops and whatnot. It makes it a lot easier. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and talk about the game modes. We're going to go into option number 2. So I'd like for you guys to get out of this. Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to go into the Ultra Loader. We're going to pick option number 2, and then we are going to launch the game, and it should take you straight to the multiplayer screen. So I will meet you there. Alright, so here we are, and look, it brought us right to the multiplayer screen. And notice I haven't even restarted my PS3. It goes from one thing to the other flawlessly. It just works great. So now let's go again into local. Remember, you always have to go into local whether you want to play offline or online, so we can get things started. Again, here you need to wait about 20 seconds or so for everything, for the injector to load up. And then you do the same thing, L2 and down to open it up. And here we are. Now take a look here. The only thing that will be presented here are just game modes. No zombies, no regular multiplayer. It's game mode stuff. Now, due to time constraints and some other stuff, I stuck a bunch of game modes in here. I think there's like 18 or 19 game modes in here, guys. So there's something for everybody here. Some of these are meant for multiplayer. Some of these are meant for zombies. Make sure you use multiplayer ones in multiplayer, zombies for zombies. Some of these things only work on some levels they're designed for. and usually they'll say it. Now here's the thing: there's a point at with these that because of time, right here, starting with Border Patrol, you'll see in the description it has question marks. I have no idea how I'm sure that they work, but I have no idea what it is, what level they're on or whatever. I just got a batch to them and I just inserted the batch here one by one. And so I have no idea what level they're for. If they're for zombies, if they're for multiplayer, I have no idea. So they have question marks there. You can Google it and you should be able to come up with it. I just didn't have time. Remember, I wasn't even supposed to put these in with this update. It was going to be the next revision in about 2 or 3 weeks. So I put them all in there. Just look them up, see what they do, and then you could go ahead and use them. When you want to play a zombie one, all you need to do is just get out of here. Just, don't select it, because if you select it, your PS will freeze. Select only, multiplayer stuff. For the multiplayer, select zombie stuff in zombie when you're at the zombie screen or the zombie area. So whenever you want to play zombie stuff, you're just going to get out, hit yes, okay, and then you're going to get out of here. You're going to go to zombies, and then you can go ahead and just load the GSE injector, and then load the zombie game mode like Zombieland or whatever. All right, and it should work without any problems whatsoever. So that's it. That's all there is to it. So you can go back and forth here from multiplayer to zombies while you have the game modes GSE injector here. Okay, and then in zombies, I think if you're online, that Facebook thing might pop up. There we go. It does for me. It may not for you. We're going to go into local, and you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to go in and press L2 and down. All right, and it should open up. There we go, and here you are. All right, and then you pick where you want to play, but there's a lot of them here, guys. All right, so let's go back to the loader, to the ultra loader, and we're just going to talk about the last two options, the sprx non-host menu. So I'll meet you there. Okay, guys, so we're here back at the menu of the ultra loader, and I'm just going to cover the bases a little bit about the e-boots and the sprx non-host menus. First of all, the e-boots, whenever you want to try a non-host menu, you're free to try any menu that you come across. Just rename it menu BO2 sprx, sprx. So as long as you rename it menu BO2 and it's capital B, capital O, and then the number 2, it's going to be in the description, and I'll probably plaster it here on the video. As long as you rename it that, you could try any one you want. You don't need to try their e-boots because they will work with these e-boots and this self file. So basically, you're going to go in here. Let's say you find a menu you want to use. If it's one that's designed for multiplayer, you're going to come here and you're going to pick multiplayer. Notice how it says Kex and Kex. Don't worry. If you're in Dex, that will change and it will say Dex and Dex instead of Kex. So you're going to just come here. If it's a menu designed for multiplayer, just press multiplayer non-host menu and it will load the proper e-boot and the self file. These e-boots and these selves do have anti-ban and they do have probation bypass. All the e-boots and all the selves now, I made them from scratch. All of them in this entire project all have anti-ban and probation bypass. So if it's a zombie sprx, then obviously you go here and you just pick zombies, and then you insert it into the TMP folder where it belongs. Renaming it menu bo2.sprx, and that's it. And then try it out and see if it works. A lot of them I tried. I'm going to be honest with you guys, they did not work. But I was using a Kex. I had a Dex machine, but I sold it because I'm selling PS3s like crazy. So I'll probably test it later on. And then here for sprx non-host menus beta, and I put beta because it's a test. Everybody on Kex and Dex, you will see all three of these. These are three of the most popular ones. On Kex, I tried them. They will load, but they don't open. So you see when you start in like the multiplayer or whatever, you see it says, thank you for using Jericho engine, blah, 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 but they never launch. So I'm believing that these are made for Dex. So you Dex people may get these to work. So let's say you want to try the Paradox engine. All you do is, I mean, the Paradox CE. All you do is go here and you press X, okay, and it will insert the Paradox sprx. And don't forget to Paradox. I believe it's a multiplayer game, so you'll have to come up here and hit play multiplayer non-host. And then once you do that, then you can go ahead and play it. It doesn't matter which one you do first. You can pick the eBoot and then pick the sprx menu. Just as long as you pick the right eBoot, whether it's multiplayer or zombies, and then you come here and pick the one you want. So I put 3 of them on there. Honestly, I tried about 4 or 5 of them, and on my machine, I couldn't get any of them to work, guys. That's why I didn't put more here. None of them were working. But again, I think it's because this is a KEX PS3. So anyway, try it. Those of you on decks, try it, and maybe you could get back with us here and let us know. When I do a revision to this, which will probably be in another 2 or 3 weeks, I'll probably have a DeX machine and I'll try it out, and then I'll report back too. So anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoy this update, the change of name and everything else. It's gotten a lot easier to use as well. A lot of effort went into this, but I appreciate all the comments and the subscriptions and everything. You guys are freaking awesome. Let's keep it up. I'll see you next time, and maybe I might work on something for GTH. So we'll see. I'm working on that now. I have my own stash of stuff, but maybe I'll put something out for GTA, bring some life back into that too. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, take care, and we'll see you next time.